So we're talking about Once Human today, Dimension, and our first impressions of it overall. Honestly, I kind of want to just shout out everyone who is a subscriber and supporter of our YouTube channel and the people on Spotify. We really appreciate all of the support and effort you guys put into listening to our videos. We'd love to hear more of your comments and opinions about these survival games. But Dimension, Once Human, what do you think? Just in one sentence, describe how you think about this game.
In one sentence, I don't know if I could do it in one sentence. There's so many mixed feelings. It is something that I really want to enjoy more than I actually do. That's my one sentence.
I would have to say that's kind of spot on. Now, the reason why it's spot on is that I've seen a lot of Once Human being played by streamers, and it looks like it's a fun game. However, sadly, I never stay around long enough to truly see what they're actually doing inside this game. One of the streamers we interviewed is Helkiana, and she played the game quite a bit, a couple of months ago. And I was really excited to be playing with it and do the first impressions with you on this. But honestly, I feel a lot of the same kind of emotions with this. I was excited, and then I got less and less excited as I got further and further into it. Now, the reason I got less excited about this is because it's not really a survival game.
I feel like it's almost in a separate category. Like it's a mixture of diet survival and crafting survival, like you said, I guess, because there are those survival elements. There's food and water you have to drink, and your hunger and your thirst, if you let those get too low, they do affect your character. I don't know that they start taking health away from your character like we see in a lot of the other survival games we talk about, but they definitely affect your stamina. I think they actually affect like your total health. There's also like a sanity and sleep mechanic where if you're going insane or don't get enough sleep, your total health goes down, things like that, but there's not really enough emphasis put on those aspects. I feel like they don't affect you as much. And the vast amount of thirst and hunger, like the how much the bar is, the meter, you can fill it up so much that you just don't worry about it. And by the time you get that notification up on your screen that says you're low on water and your character has 50% less stamina or whatever it is, you're like, oh wait, I forgot I need to drink. I forgot I have water in my backpack for this reason.
You know what? I'm just going to pull the band aid off and say Once Human is not a survival game. Honestly, it's not. And the reason why I can say that is because you explained it perfectly. It has these elements, but these elements don't matter in the long term at all. Yeah, you can be all like, oh, it has crafting, it has base building, it has hunger, it has sleep. You know what other game has all of those elements? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's not a survival game. I made a video talking about how much I love its blacksmithing elements and the alchemy and how I think it's immersive and it should be one of the options in survival games. But I like the game, I like the crafting, but it's still not a survival game. And I think Once Human approached me as a large MMO style survival game, and I think I just misinterpreted what it should really be. And it's actually not really an MMO, but it is, but it's not. It wipes every 6 weeks, but you keep some of your gear blueprints, but you start off at level one again, etc., etc. I still think it's a good game. It's just not a survival game tree. You said something to me about the tech tree that I found interesting, but the tech tree itself almost feels kind of weird because the way you get the stuff to unlocked on the tech tree isn't necessarily through resource input or that kind of stuff. It's more through playing the quests and the main story.
My problem with the tech tree is it's too vast in the sense that everything's split up. What I was talking to you about earlier was I went last night and tried to build my base because we just built the foundation when we played. We built the basic workbenches and we went off and started fighting monsters. Well, when I was playing last night, I was like, you know what? I actually want to put a full base together, put some walls up, put a roof over my head, that kind of stuff. All to find out that I had to go kill some monsters and do some missions because I didn't have enough memetic points to buy the roof blueprints or the wall blueprints or the windows and doors blueprints because all three of those are separate from the foundation. Even if you're just using your basic wooden foundation, the basic wood walls are separate, the basic wood ceilings are separate, and the basic wooden doorways and windows are separate. It was
Oh,
very odd to me because that means unless I've saved up enough mimetic points to buy all those at once, I've got to do this base one piece at a time because I got to go unlock all of that stuff.
so what are they called again?
I think they're called mimetics.
Okay, because all I keep hearing is medic points. It sounds like you're stumbling over the saying the word medic, and that's the points. Um,
We're gonna
but
look.
no, I mean,
We're just gonna have to get Red to like put it up on the screen as I say it.
well, we can have like a little cool graphic where it's like gold, like medic. uh, but no, I think overall it's nice, but it's like going to a restaurant with too many items on the menu. You know what you want, but then it sucks finding out that every individual thing is itemized. You want spaghetti, but the noodles you have to pick from five options. Then you have to get the sauce, and you have to get the meatballs, and you're all like, "Why is this all separated? Why isn't it all
Listen,
just one plate?"
listen. That's a terrible analogy because like I like to customize my food, but if if I order a plate of spaghetti, but I got to unlock each individual piece of spaghetti, then I'm going to be upset.
Well, we all won't know. We wouldn't unlock the cilantro. But the combat in the game, though, I actually enjoyed. I found it was fun. It was responsive. It was quick. The fact that I could roll and dodge, I could use guns, crossbows, that kind of stuff. It actually made sense. And there were weak points on the enemies. I always love it when games actually make weak points on enemies, whether it makes a logical sense or not. It's still a cool thing to know that, like, there is a way to kill these things or take care of these things faster, but they're not all bullet sponges. And I like that. Overall, though, I actually really like the combat 100%.
I didn't feel in danger at all in this game. And maybe it's because I'm lower level and maybe it's because I haven't experienced some of the bigger monsters, but there were even a couple of times where I saw something coming at me and I was like, "Uh-oh, there's no way I can take this on." And then it wasn't really a problem at all. And it was kind of disappointing. Like I wanted there to be more danger. I wanted there to feel like there was more danger. Um I only had a couple of times where I felt like I was afraid for my character's life or felt like something bad was about to happen and then like I said, it would just kind of resolve itself pretty easily. Um, I will say that the creatures in the game are super cool. I really like the whoever put these creatures in the game and designed these has a great imagination, and that's one of the things that really drew me to Once Human. And if there's something that keeps me playing and exploring, it will probably be to see more of those creatures.
My gosh. I'm just having flashbacks to our last episode where you literally said that you do these first impression videos and then you go back and your rabbit love eyes or whatever have faded and now you see the game even more for what it is. I'm afraid of us doing a second one of these because you may totally be like hating of this game. I would also say moving on. I love the combat conversation, but we have to move on. Is I felt like the crafting resource node gathering kind of wrapped into one um, in my comment was it was very predictable. I kind of liked how the pickaxe and the axe kind of were all one kind of weapon, but honestly, I felt like there were so many resources everywhere. And mind you, we only played the first like hour or 2 hours of this game, and I know it's a long term game, but like I wasn't really struggling to get resources. I think actually fighting enemies is where some of the resources I was struggling to get were, and but copper, tin, if there's tin in the game, trees, all that stuff, whatever. Not that big of a deal. I could farm 1,000 wood in like 5 minutes, and it lasted me my entire base build.
The crazy thing about the beginning resources at the very least is that a lot of that stuff almost instantly respawns as far as I can tell. Because if you remember, we built our base right at the top of a hill. First of all, back to the building scene. your the foliage and stuff doesn't disappear when you build over the top of it, by the way. Just quick tip, that's something that really bothered us. But also we built around some trees, a couple of copper deposits and stuff like that. We mined all those. And then I noticed that like every time we were fast traveling away and fast traveling back, those same trees and those same 3 or 4 copper deposits were back. So we kind of had like an unlimited supply of copper and trees if we wanted to just fast travel somewhere and come back, or go do a mission and come back, and those things would be back in front of our base. Like that's I'm all for resources respawning from time to time, but when it's that often, it makes that stuff and anything you build with that stuff feel a lot less valuable and a lot less like worked for.
Well, folks, that has been our first impressions of Once Human. I have to say, we enjoyed at least trying to take a look at this game. However, our experiences seem to be quite mid about it. Thank you very much for watching the State of Survival. Join me in thanking Dimension 119 and Red Falcon for being here and always supporting the show. Thank you for watching. To top for now.
See you in another dimension.